Hello, everyone. I'm your host, April Hanna, and this is the Path 11 podcast. Just a reminder, we are offering access to all of our archive shows, which is well over 100 hours of content, and new bonus shows such as the Virtual Book Club, Food for Thought Friday, and the 2-Minute Tuesday, all for just $3.99 a month. Think about it, guys. That's less than the cost of a pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks. Sign up for premium for just $3.99 a month. Now let's get to this week's show.
Okay, on today's show, I'm going to be speaking to the founder and editor of I Am Mindfulness, I Am Press Magazine, and I Am Radio. I'm speaking to Maria Nicola Cristiano, and aside from being the founder and editor of I Am Mindfulness, I Am Press Magazine, and I Am Radio, she is also a teacher, a healer, a coach, a spiritual and life strategist, and this woman is doing wonderful things in the world. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Sorry about my voice.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. And just for our listeners to know, we've had a little bit of technical difficulties with Skype, so we are doing this interview through our phones. And so the quality might not be as good as you're used to, but as I always say, it's not about the sound quality, it's more about the content that we're delivering out to you guys. So,
absolutely.
So Maria, I'd like to know a little bit more and start off with how you came to find the I Am Mindfulness. I just love the name of that. I know, the power of the two words I am, and putting that together and creating this magazine, the radio station, and your business. I'm curious to know how you got started.
Yes. Well, as you know, I was born with, let's say, a few gifts. I could hear things, and I could feel things, and I could see things. I've always been an intuitive person, but growing up in an extremely professional household, I never really felt the need of opening up and telling my family about my gifts. So nothing. I let these gifts go for many, many years. And then as the years went by, I've always been surrounded by people who needed my help, people who wanted me to enlighten them. They came to me for advice. They came to me for help. They came to me when they were most in need. And so I spent my life really helping everybody, from the child to the teenager to the older person to the professional, the housewife, the doctor. I mean, all sorts of people. And then a few years ago, about 5-6 years ago, I thought, well, I need to do this in a bigger scale. I need to do this, I really feel the need of helping more and more people, and perhaps internationally. And I went to sleep. I woke up one day and I said, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And these two things appeared. I closed my eyes again, and these two things appeared in front of my eyes. The first was number 9. And the second, there was a voice, and I heard, you are. And I said, I am what? And then I woke up and I said, I am. That's it. Well, I had to find out about the number 9 as well, which I did eventually. But that is another story, another very long story. And then that's how I decided to call my company I Am. And after I called my company I Am, I apologize about my voice. It's really, really bad. I'm forcing myself to make myself heard. Anyway, so and I created my company, and I called my company I Am, and I said, okay, I must put something after I Am, and I knew that I Am were two very powerful words. So I am, and I said, well, I am all into this mindfulness and all being in the now, and I said, well, I am mindfulness. Then I decided to open a magazine so that people could actually go on this digital magazine and read online about very interesting subjects, topics, articles articles. And then again, I said, I don't want to lose the name I Am, but what can I put after the name I Am for a magazine? And then I said, well, digital magazine is a press, so this is how I Am Press came about. And 2 years down the line, I was just reading I Am everywhere. Every time I I turned the TV on, there was I Am somewhere. Every time I walked about, there was a manifesto somewhere on the wall saying I am something. And it was like I just initiated this I Am saga type of thing, which I was very, very happy about. And this is how, the I Am Mindfulness and I Am Press were born. Hopefully, I will grow more and more. And again, this is not for my ego, because there's no ego involved here at all. It's when I say I want to grow more and more, it's just I want to have the chance to reach as many people as possible, because there's so much that needs to be done in this world. We are going through a very severe phase, very severe era, and people need help. People need to wake up. People need to understand certain things, and that's why I'm sure you're aware of this. In the last 5, 6, 7 years, the number of healers coming out of these healing schools has just increased tremendously, and there is a reason for that. People are waking up. People they understand that they can do much more than waking up in the morning, going to work, and then coming back, have dinner, and go to bed. We were all born with lots of gifts. We were all born with an extremely powerful brain, but unfortunately, we don't always use it, not because we are not capable, but because we are not made aware of that, because society has taught us that our brain can only work up to a thought percent. The school, the teachers, the parents, and everybody else. Unfortunately, our brain is extremely powerful. We are all powerful beings, and we can do so many things. So this is the time for us to wake up. Now, not many people can accept that, and therefore we are here to spread the word of love. We need to understand what love is actually all about. The love is the essence of who we are, and without love, unfortunately, we will be always living in a world of violence, wars, and all the rest. So we need to wake up to many, many, many things, and that's why we healers and coaches and we are here for this. Now, whether it's through our voice, whether it's through our magazines, whether it's through our writing, whatever it is, but it is time now for everybody to wake up and understand that we all need help. We all need to help each other to make this world a better place for our children and for our children's children. And the more we delay this process, the worse it's going to be. So this is more or less the essence of who I am.
I am who I am, yes. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because I have never heard of this type of healing before, is the access consciousness. And I was wondering if you could educate our listeners about this type of healing. I know on your website you have some information on there, but you're also talking about something called the bars, which are 32 points on the head, where we've stored all these thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and considerations. So, can you explain this type of healing and how this works?
Yes, it's more of a practical healing. The normal healing, whether it's a theta healing, whether it's a Reiki or energy healing, is more to do with healing either coming from your body or coming from the source. The access consciousness, as you just mentioned, is working on the bars. What are the bars? The bars are these 32 points that we have on our heads. Now, each point corresponds to a feeling, like one point may correspond to, for example, socializing. The other point may correspond to health, well-being, the speech. It's so many different things. Now, our access consciousness therapists, what we do during the therapy, we touch in just over an hour. We touch all the 32 points, and what happens is that we unblock any blockages that the client may have. Where there is a conscious blockage, where there is an unconscious, subconscious blockage, we unblock everything. We unblock as much as we can. Of course, we can't do everything in one session. We need a few sessions. After the session, the client feels quite light and lightheaded and feels quite open. That's because we have unblocked quite a few things. Now, the difference between access consciousness and the healing, when you do the normal healing, you more or less understand what the client in front of you are experiencing, what the problem he or she may have. With access consciousness, instead, you don't actually know the blockage that your client may have, but you just, therefore, you work on all the 32 points. So, by working on all the 32 points, you have immediately, automatically unblocked whatever blockage they needed to unblock. And it's going to work, the client will see the benefit of this therapy within a week. After a week, this person will feel very much open, will feel very much laid back, in the sense that, for example, whatever this person would have found being a problem before, if this person finds the same problem in front of their eyes, they may say at this point, oh, I don't really mind about this. This is nothing. So as you can see, they would feel like nothing really matters. All the things that before they were like serious problems to them, after that therapy, they feel like actually there is so much more in this world. Actually, there is, there are so many more important issues in the world. Why was I even worried about the silly thing? So everything becomes easier. Everything becomes more open. You become more open to everything. You become happier. You become more understanding. It's an incredible therapy. And I don't know about access consciousness in America, but in England, it's becoming quite well known. And I've had quite a few clients over the past few months, and it's working quite well. And I have to say, something else came out. There is access consciousness facelift. It's a bit of a beauty thing. We actually, by touching again the points on our head and face, we can actually, the client can have a non-surgical facelift. But that's more for the people who want to, more for the beauty and the vanity type of thing. Access consciousness, normal access consciousness is more complicated than that. It's more serious and more proper therapy. So yes.
As I'm looking at the diagram on your website and looking at the certain points on the head, what it reminds me of is acupuncture points. And I was curious to know if some of these points are on certain meridians of the body.
Yes and not. These are more like, they're tools. They're actually tools. They're designed. They're designed to facilitate the consciousness for everybody. It's not like the acupuncture is a completely different thing. The acupuncture, you work on a muscle, and that type of muscle then is like more or less like an electric shock. This has nothing to do with that, the access consciousness. The moment that the therapist touches the point on your head, you can actually feel. You feel like, for example, if I'm touching the heart point, you feel that something happening in her or his chest, which is completely different from the acupuncture, to be honest. No, nothing to do with that.
Okay, and who discovered that these certain points on the head unlock the consciousness?
Who discovered? There is a doctor who. Yes, the doctor was called, I can't remember now the name, but was quite an important doctor who discovered this, and he has been working on this access consciousness for the last 20 years. And he's been working with major people, healers all around the world. And that's how, he founded the first school, and then the second and the third, and now there are schools all over the place, in America as well, I believe.
Okay. Would it be Gary Douglas? I'm just doing a quick search online. Is it Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would probably need to look up some more information. 'Cause, of course, I think our listeners, too, are going to have that question of, well, how did he find these points? How does he know that these points unlock these different things about control and creativity, time and space, it looks like? I'm always curious to know how the founder figured this out. I guess the other question would be is once clients can see or know where these points are, can the individuals themselves just hold these points, or do they have to go to a healer to have this system done?
Yes, well, no, it's not very, very easy. First you will have to learn exactly where all the points are, but it's not going to be easy for them to place their fingers on all the points, because the points are all over the head, and of course they can, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. I mean, you do need a healer, you do need somebody who knows about it, to be honest, because it's not, you have to go through the process. For example, some of the clients, I've had some clients who, whilst I was doing the therapy, they were seeing these lights, or maybe they were their arms started shaking, or their legs started shaking, and obviously they wanted to know, because the difference between the normal healing and the classic access consciousness, the client can actually talk during the session, and obviously they were worried, why is my arm shaking? Why is my leg shaking? And you have to explain. So if you're by yourself, and even if you do know every single point and you know what you're touching, but you may not necessarily have the explanation for all the feelings you may have, all the things you're not going to be as relaxed when you have it done by a healer or a access consciousness therapist, to be honest. It's a bit more complicated than that. You have to go through a process, and you have to explain to the client, what is happening. Why is that they're feeling the way they're feeling? Why is that they're seeing the way they're seeing? They see, the things they're seeing. Why is that the leg or the foot is shaking? And you are there, and you explain, and you make them feel safe and secure. It's something that they obviously may not be able to do when if they do it by themselves, to be honest.
Okay, great. Thanks for clearing that up. Would you like to talk about how the Access energetic facelift works? Because I know our culture gives us messages about staying young, looking younger, get rid of the lines, get rid of the wrinkles. So how does this healing give you an actual facelift?
Yes, well, if you think if we can touch the 32 points on our head and make you block all the blockages that you may have, the same thing obviously works on the face. There are a few points on our temples, on our forehead, and the back of our head and our face, which we can touch. We will touch, and these points, they just make the muscle get stronger and stronger, but getting stronger it's like a pulling effect, and therefore after a few sessions the client will see the face is just pulling back, and they of course look younger. And if you think about how, I am myself scared of going under the knife, to be honest with you. So I don't know if I would ever have something like that done. But if you have a chance to have it done non-surgically, then that is the greatest thing ever for women, to be honest with you. Now, I cannot go through every single point or that are there on the face that we are going to touch. I can only say that it does work. It works very, very well. It does need a few sessions. And yes, the clients will start to look more fresh, very fresh in the face, very relaxed. And it's like there's this light also, on your face, and the face feels like pulled back, and therefore you look younger. So it is a great discovery. As a woman, it is great. I mean, I am, I'm not going to say my age. I've said a couple of times, and I say that.
Okay, well, wonderful. I've never heard of that before, so I think, we'll have to check that out. It's great to know that there's something out there where you don't have to go under the knife.
Yeah, no, I knew that, unless I'm getting confused, as far as I know, I thought this was going very well in America too, so maybe I got confused with some other country. Strange.
Well, it may be here, but maybe I've just never heard of it. I've heard of, there's an acupuncture place around where I live, and it's called Ageless Acupuncture, and they do faceless with acupuncture needles. So that's how I've heard of it before, but it very well could be something that is going on around here that I had no idea about.
Right, okay. I would have to look into this again because, it's important for us because if it's in America, it means it's good, Once it's in America, it means, it's fine, it's good. So, yes. Anyway.
Yeah. Now, I know that you were letting us know before we started our call that your voice was a little tired because you've been doing a lot of teaching. What type of teachings do you find yourself doing the most?
At the moment, I'm doing this favor for this school that called me to look after this child with special needs child with, and I'm looking after him. It was supposed to be for a few days, and I knew it. Of course, I walk in the school, and the child comes straight to me. He's an autistic child, so usually they're not extremely affectionate. I mean, they came straight to me, and he was holding my hand like he had known me before. And 3 weeks later, I'm still there. I was supposed to see him after a week. 3 weeks later, I'm still there teaching him. And this morning, the head teacher called me saying, "Look, we've never seen this with Joshua. I mean, he's doing so well, and he's, it's improving a lot." And so I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. And so at the moment I'm doing that teaching, besides all the other things I do, of course. And believe me, I do many, many things. So I had to come back earlier today to have a chat with you guys. And after that I will be writing some articles for my magazine and talk to some clients.
Yes, you are a busy woman, and we're not going to keep you too much longer, but I was hoping that you could also let our listeners know a little bit about your Mindfulness magazine and the different topics that are covered on there. The website is impressmagazine.com, and we will have that in the show notes. But what can people find on this magazine site?
Well, we have a few topics in there. We have relationships, we have spirituality, we have self-growth. So articles, really, we have health and foods and women and men, and soon we will have the IM products. I was thinking of, we are working on special oils and creams, so a bit of, a bit of everything. Spirituality in general, but self-growth, I would say, is one of the main topics. All about gratitude, the existential pain, and, spirit guides and spirituality in general. Information on on gemstones, information on relationships, and articles on so many different topics. Very, very interesting articles. Yes. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. Yep. And can you also let our listeners know where they can find out more information about you?
About me on my website, and that will be www.iammindfulness.co.uk. And of course, I am on all the social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What else is there? All of them as Maria Nicola Cristiano. Otherwise, all the detailed information on the website, www.iammindfulness.co.uk.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. And we're sorry that our interview was cut a little short due to our technical difficulties, but we enjoyed hearing a lot about the access consciousness. So we thank you.
Thank you very, very much for having me. And again, apologies for my voice. My throat is really getting very painful at the moment. Okay, love and light to everybody, and hopefully I will talk to you again soon.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that show, and don't forget to sign up for our premium service with over 100 hours of interviews, as well as our new segments such as 2-Minute Tuesdays, Food for Thought Fridays, as well as the virtual book club on Thursdays. All of these extra segments are only available for our premium subscribers. Visit the podcast section of our website at path11productions.com to learn more, or to start your subscription for only $3.99 a month. If you're not interested in a premium subscription, you can still use our smartphone app for both Android and iPhones. Just search for Path 11 in the Google Play App Store, or if on an iPhone, look for Path 11 in the iOS App Store. Of course, you can still catch our latest 5 interview shows at any time by subscribing to the Path 11 podcast in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and iHeartRadio. If you want more information about our films, visit our website, path11productions.com, to purchase DVDs or to rent and stream each film. You can also find our trilogy of films on iTunes, Amazon Prime, and Gaia.com. Catch you next time.